How's everybody doing this evening? Well, EOS had a very historic day today, whereas they released Dawn 3.0. And if you haven't read it, I would encourage you to go to Steam it and read the release that they had today. It actually updated software of what they've been working on, that they'll have the full release in June. But anyway, this is pretty amazing stuff. I've read through it a few times today, and every time I read it, it becomes a little bit more unbelievable to me. I would say definitely, if you're studying blockchain technology, you will increase your ability to, expand your mind and think differently, because this stuff is incredible stuff. I'll just hit a few of the things that were talked about in 3.0. The main thing I think it was focused on was scalability, and how they reach the scalability is by intercommunication of the blocks. Intercommunication of the blocks is the block be able to communicate information back and forth, where there is an ability to communicate with blocks by verification and by being able to access certain parts of the information on the block. As opposed to processing the whole block, you can just be able to access certain parts of it. This is going to get back to what was said in there. It was like the holy grail of scalability. And the only way this can happen, the only way this can take place, is because of a proof of stake. And if you don't have proof of stake, you can't get these kinds of speed and this kind of interconnection between the blockchains, between the different chains being built. So you really get to a point where, when you think about this, and you've got the blocks being built, then you've got the vertical blocks being able to exchange information between themselves, between each other, you have kind of multi-dimensional world going on of communication and verification and being able to access information. And I've been trying to think of a way to really wrap your mind around, how big this is going to be. And the way I would say to you, just in a real layman's way, really non-technical way, is this is like a tremendous, like a world data center. Like, this platform will be a world data center. Within that world data center, all the information, all this data is going to be accumulated. Every kind of content you can imagine is going to be put on this platform. Everything you can imagine. And at the same time, this whole platform is going to be able to communicate within the platform to each other. So you're having all this incredible data being laid down, and at the same time, all this data is going to be able to communicate with each other within this complete massive data center of information. And it's going to, at that same time, it's going to be secure, and it's going to be it's going to be secure, it's going to be private, and it's going to be transparent. All that's going to be taking place at the same time. And that's why I say this is just so multidimensional that it's mind-boggling. The price was up pretty big today. They're having a conference in a few hours in Hong Kong. I don't expect to see $5 EOS anytime soon. I think the price is going to be north of $6 here real quick, and probably go a lot higher. So this is kind of like a perfect opportunity. If you're thinking about it, this is kind of a good time to jump in, because I think the Hong Kong conference is definitely going to improve the value of the EOS. Other thing I want to talk about EOS 3.0 that they released today is they talked about building smart contracts. Smart contracts can be built in C++. In C++, all you really need to know is how to write a class. What a class is basically a blueprint for an object, and that's what C++ is, an object-based language. And actually, they actually coded a little bit of a hello world smart contract within the Dawn 3.0 that they released today. There's a lot of stuff. He talks about security, he talked about scalability, they talked about transactions per second, with the ability to communicate between blocks, that the transactions per second could be unlimited. So like I say, this is a world information center with communications within the information center, all at the same time being transparent and secure and private. you know, how you put all that together is why this is such an exciting thing. This is just unparalleled in the world, never done before, and the ability for this to take place is pretty incredible. Block One, which is making the software, producing the software, is the way this is working, and what's really going on here is you have Block One building this thing. And if you read the first part of the release today, they talk about how they have a worldwide network of developers working on this. And I know from seeing projects done before, when you have a tremendous amount of people working on something, it can really be extraordinary. It can grow fast, and it can be something that the developer really needs stuff. And that's what you got going on here. You got a world of developers working on something, and you have a lot of money to do it with, so you can really develop some really cool stuff. And that's what's going on here. They're developing probably one of the coolest projects in the history of the world. So that's what it's, you know. So they talked a little bit about the worldwide development of this of the platform, of the software, and how while they were developing the software, they realized that there were so many other functions that they could put into this to create more speed and more security, and to make the intercommunications between the blocks easier. So all this stuff, while they were building it, they kind of started figuring out, you know, how we can do this better and better and better and better. And what they're talking about right now is off the scale from what they talked about in the white paper when this thing was originally thought of almost a year ago. So I think they're way ahead of schedule. I think they're making something, like I say, that is incredible. When I think about, people say what the word EOS means, EOS, and the best thing I've heard about what EOS stands for is that it's Earth Operating System, an Earth Operating System, and that's kind of what I see this being, is an Earth Operating System, and it's kind of fitting in with the Dawn 3.0. So whoever created this, whoever's idea it was ingenious the way they've designed this and set it up and thought it out, even to the name of EOS, Earth Operating System. Let me see if there was anything else I wanted to talk about tonight about it. I mean, there was a lot of stuff in 3.0 that you know, a lot of stuff about the WebAssembly. I'm sorry. I think how a lot of the WebAssembly, some security built into the WebAssembly. Not only that, some the ability for it all to be on your browser. And I was thinking about how they're doing this with the voting, the resources, and the staking, and how that all is going to be built into the WebAssembly. And you know, just a lot of really neat things going on. You know, really good information. Just a tremendous amount. So, like I say, the price is hovering around $6 right now. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I think the price will probably go up after this conference. Just a lot of amazing things, and then we got a very short time before the actual release of 1.0. So, and that'll be coming up in June. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll try to break down this a little bit more, what happened today with the 3.0. But you can read it, and like I say, maybe I'll touch on some other parts of it tomorrow. I think they call it I'll talk about that tomorrow. So anyway, there's a few other things I'll talk about as far as the program is concerned. So I appreciate you watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.